Hi everybody, this is Mark, and today I want to give you guys a ranking of all Pixar movies from worst to best. So let's go ahead and get started. In at last place, we have Lightyear. Now, I know a lot of people don't really like that movie. I know a lot of people think that this movie was a box office flop, and this was probably the one movie that, Auntie wanted as a toy, but it just really, didn't work for me. It just really was a big disappointment. Um, and at number 30, Cars 2. Cars 2 was um, probably the weakest film in the Cars franchise. And yeah, a lot of people didn't really like it. And some people thought it focused too much on Mater and the spies, you know? Um, but could have been better. Could have focused more on Lightning McQueen. So Um, and at number 29, I have Brave. And Brave, to me, I didn't, you know, thought that, I thought this movie was, gonna be a great, uh, I thought Brave shit was gonna be that good, but I just didn't really care about it because it focused on the Disney princess Merida. And yeah, it just didn't really feel like a Pixar movie to me at all. Um, and at number 28, The Good Dinosaur. The Good Dinosaur, I thought was okay, but just, I didn't really like the whole plot of the movie. It just kind of felt really mediocre to me, and the villain wasn't all that memorable. The characters weren't very all that memorable, so 27, I have Elio, and Elio um, was a very, very big disappointment at the box office flop. Um, a lot of people didn't ever get to see that in theaters, and a lot of people probably were, you know, hoping this movie would do very well, but just became a big disappointment. And at number 26, Turning Red, and Turning Red, was all right, but I just didn't, think this movie would really be as good of a film as I thought it was gonna be because it focused more on like boy bands, for town, and just not really for me. Um, and at number 25, Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4 was really, uh, not really as good as the first three Toy Story movies. So, yeah, Toy Story 4 at number 25. And then number 24, A Bug's Life. And A Bug's Life probably, the plot, I thought the movie was okay, but I thought the characters weren't really that very memorable to me. Um, and then at number 23, I have Elemental. Um, and Elemental was arguably, you know, big disappointment at the box office, and could have been so much better. Um, so yeah. 22, Finding Dory. And Finding Dory, you know, was alright, just not as good as the first Finding Nemo, in my opinion. And yeah. And at number 21, I have Incredibles 2. And I just didn't really think this movie wouldn't be as good as the first Incredibles, in my opinion. Some of you know, the wannabe supers just weren't there for me. The screensaver villain was very, very, very mediocre and whatnot. So yeah. And at number 20, I have uh Monsters University. And Monsters University was, you know, decent, but you know, it just we just didn't really need to focus more on Mike and Sully going to college and you know, so yeah. And number 19, I've got um Hoppers. And Hoppers, uh was actually very, you know, pretty enjoyable movie for the most part. I thought it was very good. I thought I really liked it. Um yeah. In a number 18 spot, Onward. And Onward was you know, kind of a cool concept really though. I liked how they, focused, I liked how they brought the dead to life and whatnot. So yeah. Number 17, I have um Inside Out, the very first Inside Out movie. And that movie was very good. I really liked it. And yeah. In number 16 spot, I have Luca. And Luca was actually probably one of those Pixar movies that I actually really enjoyed and I thought was very good. Um, so yeah. Number 15, I have The Incredibles. And the first Incredibles movie was actually very phenomenal. I really liked it and I loved the OG supers and the voice cast and I thought it was very awesome. 14, Cars 3. And Cars 3 actually was a pretty good ending, to the Cars trilogy and things like that. Number 13, I have Finding Nemo. And Finding Nemo was actually a very, pretty surprising movie. I thought it was very good. I really liked it. Um, and then at the number 12 spot, I have um, Inside Out 2, which that movie was very good and probably a very amazing sequel to the first Inside Out. And number 11, Coco. And Coco was honestly one of the best Pixar movies that ever released. And I thought it was very, very phenomenal. And I thought it was very, very good for what it is. Now, at the number 10th spot, I have Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. was honestly one of the best Pixar movies that ever came out since 2001, which was the year I was born. Number 9, Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2 was actually one of the best Pixar sequels that ever came out, and had Jesse Bullseye, the Prospector, and Evil Emperor Zurg, which I thought he was a very really cool villain in this one. Um, at number 8, I have Ratatouille, and Ratatouille was actually a very surprising movie. It took place in Paris, France. Um, it's got a really bizarre concept. Remy as the chef, he's the restaurant, who likes to cook food. Um, Again, at number 7, I have the first Cars movie. And the first Cars movie was actually very good. It introduced me to Lightning McQueen and Tom Mater, and all the other racers in this. Number 6, the first Toy Story movie. And it was actually pretty good. The one that started it all. Pixar knew how to make high quality, knows how to make high quality movies. And so at number 4, I have Up, and Up was actually a very solid movie. Carl and Russell have a very good chemistry together, and I thought it was very good, very enjoyable for what it is. Number 3, um, the Toy Story 3, and Toy Story 3 was actually a very good ending to the Toy Story trilogy, and thought it was very well made, well put together. And in number 2, in the second spot, Toy Story 5. And, Toy Story 5 was actually um, probably way better than the rest of the other Toy Story movies. And, yeah. And at the number 1 spot, drum roll please. Okay, it is Soul. And Soul is honestly one of the best movies that Pixar has ever made. And quite surprisingly, I thought it was really good. I thought I really liked it. Um, yeah, Joe Gardner and Soul 22 were all, you know, and Dorothea Williams were all phenomenal in this movie. So there you guys go. That's all my Pixar movie ranking. I hope you guys liked, and if you guys did enjoy, please make sure you guys subscribe and for more content and whatnot. And as always, take care. I love you guys. Peace out. So.